Scott, a couple of the guys just mentioned it, so I'm sure that that was the talk around the room. Just the challenge that is involved with the Dallas Stars. You do the homework and you see they don't appear to have a weakness, do they?
No, I mean,
Not that you're
or
gonna
I
share.
guess, so you're saying don't play them, or what? I don't know.
No.
No, you know what, they're a team, obviously, we know them really well. They're a Central Division opponent that, that we know, obviously faced them in the playoffs last year, and they're off to a great start. They are 10-0 and 2 or whatever it is, 8-0 and 2 the last 10, and it's just going to be one of those games. It's a divisional opponent. It's about the moment. I talked about often about focus on what's happening right now, and no better way for us to get up and running and get ourselves feeling good about ourselves about beating this hockey team.
Yeah, and that was the back half of the question: is the opportunity that is there to maybe change the narrative that's been around the hockey club for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, I don't care what happened the other day. We talked about it. It wasn't good, but now we worked on. I had a good practice yesterday. I had a good meeting. A lot of the detail stuff that we were hoping we want to happen, we need it to happen tonight against this team. And like you mentioned, they've got some top-end players that are playing real well. They got a goaltender, just player of the week, that we're going to have to get to. And we saw them at the first game of the year. And so hopefully that these divisional games, they usually bring out the best in us, and I'm hoping that happens tonight.
One final question, just in terms of, I know you had said you're looking for a spark with the changes you made to the lines, but are you also maybe looking for the lines to look like each other shift after shift after shift? Or?
Yeah, I mean, that's ultimately, no matter who's playing with who, you want things to. It's not so much that they look alike, because there's certainly a difference between Scheifele's line and Lau's line, or if it's our fourth line, whoever it might be. It's more about the consistency of playing in their end, forcing them to, shift after shift, to have, Dallas have to be on their heels, and, making them make adjustments to what we're doing. And it's more about that sort of constant wave coming over the board, instead of kind of one up, one down, one up, one down type scenario that we've seen. And so it's just being consistent that way with it. Guys, when that does happen, the bench can feel it. You can feel sort of the energy, and you build off of it, and just need that to happen a little bit more often.
Yeah, hi, Scott.
And also on that note too, there are some home ice advantages. So there are some matchup things that you can do a little bit more. So there are some things that are going to do it that way as well.
Yeah, hi, Scott. In the Western Conference, you have the second most amount of regulation wins behind Colorado and Dallas, and yet you kind of know where you are in pecking order right now. Is it frustrating that you haven't been able to get some of these games to overtime? Like LA's got eight overtime losses, and they're 8 points ahead of you. Do you feel that not being able to get some of those games to overtime
has been a point? I think that part of our history here is that we talk about staying in those close games, whether you're up one, down one, not allowing the game to get away. And much like what happened in the first period in Edmonton, we've had a few other games, in the game in Buffalo, that all of a sudden it gets to 3-0, and then all of a sudden now you're not in it, you're chasing it the whole time. And it's been a pretty good trademark of ours in the past, is that we stay in these games, and whether it took us, it took us 2 periods to get the lead back, or it took us 3, or pull the goalie, whatever it might be, but we stay close, and we found a way. And I think that's obviously one thing that we have to do more of. But it also is, if I go all the way back, we talk about the Central Division, how important it is to be good in our division. We can start with that tonight. The other side of it is eliminate eight teams in the West. We still have 51 games left. We got to eliminate 8 teams, all right? And we'll worry about what's gone above us in our division. We got to get going, beat the teams in our division, and then from there take on gain those points like you're talking about. If we're in tight games, find a way to get preferably 2 points, but it's like you mentioned, it's getting 1 point at least. But I think that we're staying in games, we're getting more points than we need to.
As you mix up your lines and sort of prepare for Dallas, and you say you're looking for a spark, 55 and 81 stay together. And as a coach, is there comfort in that, knowing that these two always seem to work? Or are you ever tempted to say, hey, these guys could drive 2 different lines?
Yeah, I've talked about it. I've looked at it. The one thing that happens when those two are on the ice, they're in the offensive zone a lot. a lot of the time, and it also makes the other coach make adjustments. He has to make adjustments in the sense that, especially now, being at home for a stretch here, hopefully we can take advantage of maybe some of the, whether it's an icing and then going out against the other teams, bottom end lines, whatever it might be. But kind of doing that with Gabe right now. I think that, just the way Scheifele and KC work together, it's hard. I'm hoping that maybe we can get other people going, that Gabe going on another line helps that. Maybe Al going up there, can get himself back to, playing how he plays usually. And it's just trying to, get some. There's a little bit, like I mentioned earlier, there's a matchup thing that we're kind of looking at too tonight. But, I can say I can break those two guys up and then, 3 games from now that we're not scoring goals, and then all of a sudden Casey's not scoring, and then I'm got to try to get him back going again. So got 2 guys up and running that know how to play with each other, and we'll just kind of work it that way for now.
It wasn't the thrust of what he was saying, but Jonathan Toews was asked about playing on the 4th line, and he had, volunteered to do that early in his Jets career, and he said something like, at first it's you challenge your ego, and I don't hear athletes talk about ego that often, and I wonder what he's been like in that regard, just being a deep dude who's considering his own point of view as you're having these conversations with him. Does that make sense?
No, that's a part about Jonathan. He's been fantastic about everything. He just, to our very first conversation and way back in the summer, was just I want to fit in. I just want to, whatever I can do to help the team win. And I don't envision him being where he is right now, but I'm just trying to get 4 lines going, and I'm trying to get him going. And, it's just taking a little bit of the wear and tear of him getting, having to defend all the time in our end of the rink or whatever, not being in situations offensively where he can spend a lot of his energy. But at the end of the day, he's open. And, I also have just kind of the way the lines are set up tonight. There's some offensive situations where he will move up. Like there's some situations where I can make a quick switch, and it'll be something that I'm going to look at. But for me, with Jonathan, he just wants us to have success, and it really is. You may say about the ego part. The biggest thing is us winning. That's what he cares most about, and however it comes about, wherever he is or the part he plays, how large or small, that's what he wants first and foremost.
Just on that, Scott, this is a pretty unique situation, right? There's no playbook on what he's doing looks like, where you can maybe look back on other players that you've had over your career who've had similar scenarios. Like this is kind of one of one, right? So I wonder with you and him, is this all kind of just new as you feel your way along here?
Well, for sure. It's new to me, but it's really new to him. And it's just, that's why we're having these conversations, him and I. We've had some real good ones over there, like I mentioned this summer, but we've had some real good ones since the season's been going. And it's just, if I'm going to do something, I got to make sure that he understands why I'm doing it. And the other side too is that he has he's got a lot of knowledge in his head as well. And we look at different things that that may help him, and whether that's through video or just communication. And if I just stay on top of it that way, then the two of us kind of are on the same page.
And Scott, what's your message to a guy like Gustav Nyquist, kind of going through being healthy, scratch for the first time in his career?
It's just be patient. It really is. Be patient, and he knows he's an older guy, a veteran guy, and he's been good with it. There's an opportunity. His opportunity will come again, and just take advantage of when it does.
And too, with the defense, what's it like to sort of the mentality behind the rotation, or how are you going to use those guys for now?
That's game to game. It really is. It's game to game. We'll just see where we're at game to game.
Sort of, this is a question that's already been asked previously. Toews obviously comes with an incredible, collateral, the cups and that. Talk about what that would mean. Obviously, you say you got to get past all those teams and get to the big dance of 16, but talk about what that'll mean. Or do you even want to think about that just yet?
We got to get in. We got to eliminate those 8 teams first, but we brought him here for that. We brought him for part of, obviously, it's the 82 and his knowledge and the skill set and everything he can do. But then when we get to that point, the experience, him being through all those things, that's what we're hoping is the bonus of him being here.